Cameras caught these outside Lila's house the day she was murdered.
That's Roman's car.
You think you know this show? You watched Morgan Guillory look at a case board she wasn't supposed to touch and rearrange the entire investigation. You saw her negotiate a deal with the LAPD, 3 kids at home, no sleep, no badge, no authority whatsoever. You watched her walk into a room and read it the way other people read a headline. You think you kept up. This is the high potential iceberg. 4 levels, what everyone saw, and what almost nobody caught. Level 1, the tip, what everyone saw. Morgan Guillory cleans the LAPD major crimes building for a living. Night shift, mop, bucket, nobody watching.
Who changed our board?
One night, a case board is wrong. She doesn't decide to fix it. She just can't leave it wrong. That's the thing about Morgan. Her brain doesn't ask permission. It sees what doesn't fit, and it won't stop until it fits. It's not a skill she built. It's not something she trained. It's just there, the same way other people get an earworm they can't shake, except Morgan's version runs on unsolved problems. She reorganizes the board, leaves a note. The real suspect isn't the one at the top. By morning, the major crimes unit is in chaos. Someone interfered with the investigation. Surveillance cameras find Morgan. Lieutenant Selena Soto watches the footage, brings her in, and instead of arresting her, gives her a test. Morgan passes, obviously. Soto offers a consulting role. Morgan says yes, but only under one condition. The LAPD helps her find Roman Sinquerra, her ex-partner, Ava's biological father, missing for 16 years. The LAPD gets a consultant who can see what their detectives can't. Morgan gets access to the resources she needs for her one real search. That's the deal. She didn't want the job. She wanted Roman. Then there's Karadec. Sharp, controlled, absolutely done with someone rearranging his precinct's evidence boards at 2 a.m. His resistance is easy to read as stubbornness, but watch what he's actually protecting. He's a detective who has spent his career learning that acting on instinct without proof gets the wrong people convicted. He's not wrong. Morgan isn't wrong either. The friction between them isn't a personality problem. It's 2 completely different ways of knowing the same truth, forced to share the same cases. Season 1 layers a second threat on top of all that. The game maker. Matthew Clark. A man whose mother did time for grand theft and died when he was still a kid. He decided the LAPD owed him a debt and spent years building a way to collect it. He targets members of a grief support group, kidnaps them, and sends the LAPD elaborate games with a countdown. Solve his puzzle, find the victim, don't solve it in time, and the person dies. Smart enough to stay ahead of the whole team for weeks. Season 1 ends with Oz in danger. Clock running. The most personal the stakes have ever been. On the surface, that's the show. A sharp procedural about an unlikely partnership, a villain with a plan, a mystery running underneath all of it. That's the tip. Level 2, below the surface. What Rewatchers caught. Roman Sinquerra disappeared 16 years ago. He went out to buy diapers and never came back. The show presents this quietly. Just the terms of a deal. The price of Morgan's cooperation. But Season 1 plants something underneath that, for viewers paying attention. Before Roman vanished, he was working as an FBI informant. That changes the shape of everything. This wasn't necessarily random. Someone may have known exactly what he was doing and wanted him gone before he could finish. Except, the show doesn't confirm that either. Maybe he was taken. Maybe he chose to disappear. Season 1 doesn't give you the answer. It gives you the piece that makes the question more dangerous. Then, the Season 1 finale.
Hello?
Morgan, I know where he is.
What are you talking about?
Roman. He's alive.
A call. 4 words. Roman. He's alive. No footage, no face, no context for who's calling or how they know. 4 words on Morgan's face in the last 90 seconds of the season, and with that, every scene in Season 1 where she deflected a question about him, every time she almost answered and didn't, it all shifts. He wasn't a ghost. He was somewhere. Someone knew where. Season 2 gives you Arthur Ellis. He shows up in Season 2. Landscaper, works for cash, no paper trail. He has a backpack that Roman left for Morgan, held in Nevada, routed through Arthur, waiting until the time was right. Inside, a BlackBerry with encrypted messages from the night Roman disappeared, and photographs of people close to Morgan, people who matter to her. 16 years. And Roman kept track of exactly who to watch over. He didn't abandon them. He hid himself from whoever was looking for him, and kept them in his sight from a distance. That's not a missing person story. That's something else entirely. If you're the kind of viewer who noticed any of that the first time, this channel was built for you. Subscribe, because Level 3 is where the writers buried the things they never said out loud. Level 3, The Deep. What only Decoders found. Roman Sinquerra never appears on screen. Not once. 31 episodes across 2 seasons. No face, no voice, no frame. That is a choice. The effect of that choice is precise. Every time someone mentions Roman, you build your own version of him. And the show rebuilds that version in phases. Season 1. He's a victim, a good man who got pulled into something he couldn't control. Season 2. He's a protector, alive, watching from a distance, keeping them safe without letting them know. By the Season 2 finale, he's a question mark. The audience has spent 2 full seasons constructing this character from nothing but secondhand descriptions, objects, and other people's reactions. That isn't accidental storytelling. That is a deliberate structural decision, and it only works because the audience never gets to see him for themselves. Here's something even fewer people noticed. In Season 2, Episode 16, a graffiti case connects back to Roman, a tagger painting murals in his style. The show drops it almost in passing. Roman got his start in the LA graffiti scene as a muralist.
15 years ago, Roman Sinquerra painted a mural downtown.
I could have sworn the mural was here.
That's a bird's wing.
So you go back to Season 1, Episode 3. Morgan and the team track down that mural. Roman painted it illegally, got cited for it, and by the time they find the location, most of it is gone. Construction swallowed it. One small fragment survived behind a building sign, a piece of a bird's wing. And when Arthur delivers the backpack, there's an angel's pin on the strap. Roman left traces across this city, partial, scattered, easy to miss. Most viewers just didn't know they were looking at a language. Then there's Willa Quinn, Jennifer Jason Leigh. She arrives in Season 2 as a fixer. Someone who makes problems disappear for senators, CEOs, people with enough money and enough access to shape the rules that law enforcement is supposed to enforce. She flies to LA. She tries to reach Hayworth. She's blocked. What Season 2 confirms, Hayworth abducted Roman 16 years ago, on Willa Quinn's order. Roman didn't choose to go. He was taken. And the person who gave that order is still operating freely, now working to push Morgan out of the Major Crimes Detective Unit before she gets close enough to understand why a billionaire fixer needed her ex-partner gone. Every Case of the Week episode, every interrogation, every team moment, all of it sits on top of this foundation. One more piece the show never announces: Morgan's design as a character. The warm, busy apartment that clearly belongs to someone raising 3 kids while holding everything else together. The noise, the energy, the things that fall through the cracks, is deliberate. The writers built her as a specific kind of anti-genius, not the precise, controlled, emotionless kind that TV usually reaches for. The kind whose brain takes in so much that some things have to fall apart so the important things can stay whole. She doesn't clean the LAPD building because she failed at something better. She ended up in a job that puts her alone in rooms full of evidence in the middle of the night, because that's when her brain is most useful and most honest. Level 4, The Abyss. What's still unresolved? What Season 3 has to answer? Season 2, Episode 18. Surveillance footage.
That's Roman's car. No. I'm done. Let's be done.
Roman's car. It was parked outside Lila Flynn's house on the night she was murdered. Lila Flynn was the FBI agent Roman worked with as an informant. She was killed the same night he disappeared. And his car was there. For 2 seasons, the show built Roman as someone who chose to stay hidden to protect the people he loved. That reading does not survive this image. Either Roman killed Lila Flynn, a federal agent, the woman he was informing for, and everything built around the idea of him as protector has to be rebuilt from the ground up. Or someone placed that car there deliberately, used his vehicle, his name, his disappearance, to make sure that if Roman ever surfaces, he surfaces as a suspect who can never safely come forward. The show gives you both possibilities and ends the season. At the same time, Captain Wagner is shot in the finale. The captain who shielded Morgan inside the unit, who gave her false meeting times to keep her out of harm's way while he walked into something dangerous. His father, a powerful political figure in Los Angeles, has been working with Willa Quinn. Wagner got too close to that line. And Lucha, Karadek's girlfriend, is revealed as someone who covered up crimes to protect the wrong people. Karadek makes the arrest himself. The team Morgan built trust into. The captain who kept her safe. The partner beside Karadek. All of it fractured inside the same episode. High Potential doesn't hide Easter eggs. It runs a signal system. Details planted early, paying off late, often in ways the audience doesn't clock until the second watch. Everything in Level 3 was there from the beginning. Everything in Level 4 is still active. Season 3, now under new showrunners Nora and Leela Zuckerman, is where we find out whether the signal system was always pointing somewhere specific or just in all directions at once. The Roman arc has its own full breakdown. Every piece of evidence across both seasons, decoded from start to finish. That video is coming. For now. If you caught something I didn't mention, the comments are open. Decoders work better together. Runtime.